Hi, I'm Sonya White Jaguar. Welcome to this edition of White Jaguar Wednesdays, my semi-monthly series where I discuss spiritual subjects inspired by your questions. Today is part 3 of the series that I'm doing to answer a question that someone submitted who wanted to see more techniques to use to prepare for connecting with spirit and being able to see and hear them. They asked, is it something that you have to open or turn on in a certain way? How do you train yourself to have more experiences across the veil? So if you missed the first 2 videos of this series, be sure to go back and watch those. Today, what I'd like to share with you is a simple visualization exercise that you can use to ask yes/no questions and begin to have a dialogue with people on the other side. In one of my earlier series, I shared some ways that you can communicate with Alan Rickman on the other side and work with him as a spirit guide. In the first video of that series, I shared some physical tools that you can use to ask yes/no questions. I talked about pendulums, dowsing rods, and muscle testing. And more recently, I also did a video dedicated to how to use a pendulum. So be sure to check those out if you haven't seen those. But what you want to do when you start to ask yes/no questions is you want to ask for what a yes and a no look like. And so you program your tools so then you can ask the questions and you get clear answers. So this is now another technique that you can use where you're actually using your mind to ask yes/no questions. So now I did not create this technique myself, and this is not from Alan. I learned this from a teacher, but it's a great technique, and so I want to share this with you. So what you do is you go within and you literally commune with yourself, your higher self, and you ask to see what a yes and a no look like. You can do this for a vision, and you can also do this for a sound. So I'll walk you through it. Just relax, take a breath. You can close your eyes. You can even put your hand on your heart if you want to connect with your heart. Now ask your mind and just basically say, I would like to ask yes/no questions. Please give me a vision. Please show me what a yes looks like. And now do it again for a no. Say, please give me a vision. Show me what a no looks like. Now, hopefully you saw something. When I do that exercise, I actually get a vision of a hand with a thumbs up for yes, and I get a red stop sign for no. So I know that those are my symbols for yes and no, and I can go within and ask yes and no that way. Now, if you didn't see something, that's okay. Now let's try it a different way and ask for a sound. So go ahead and close your eyes again, relax. If you want to put your hand to your heart, that's fine. So now ask and say, I'd like to ask yes/no questions. Please give me a sound. Show me what a yes sounds like. And now you can do it again for no. Please give me a sound. Show me what a no sounds like. So hopefully you heard something. When I do that exercise, I actually hear the words yes and no. You might have heard a piece of music or some other sounds, and that's perfectly fine. This is what you're doing, is you're programming a response, from your higher self. If you didn't hear or see anything, that's okay. Just go ahead and practice this technique, on your own. I would recommend doing it first thing in the morning when you're waking up, before you even get out of bed, when you're still in that kind of half awake, half asleep state. Try it then and see if you get answers. You might have found that you got visions but no sounds, or even vice versa. So that will give you some information about your own gifts. Maybe you're more clairvoyant, or maybe you're more clairaudient. So whichever one was clearer to you or felt stronger, start with that one and work with that, and begin to ask yes/no questions and see if you get clear answers. So from there, now you can use this technique to communicate with people on the other side. So use this, ask Alan Rickman to work with you, ask other spirit guides or other loved ones, and see if you can get clear yes and no answers from them. This is a wonderful way to kind of meet them halfway, so to speak, because you're entering that realm of spirit when you use this exercise. So then you can take it to another level too. And so just like you can program a yes/no response, you can also ask that person on the other side to give you a vision. So when you speak to them, ask them, say, show me a vision, show me a sound, show me a sign, a symbol of your presence. And then let them show you, what that is. And then ask them to show you that in your waking life too. So then you know that that person is with you. It's very important when you start to do this work to get confirmation so that you can build your confidence. So I'd like to share with you a story about a friend of mine who has been working with Alan, and he's been going through this same exercise, trying to open up spiritually so he can see and hear Alan. He loves Alan. He wants to work with him, but he's also frustrated. He doesn't always trust himself and trust what he's getting. So let me share with you the experiences that he's had, because I think this will help you in your journey as well. So my friend has been in the spiritual community for a long time, attending different events and things. And years ago, he used to do a little automatic writing. He would sit down and channel spirit guides, and he shared with me some of the messages he got. It was amazing. But he stopped doing it, and he hasn't done it for decades. But he definitely has the skill to do it. So when he started working with Alan, he asked Alan specifically to work with him in dreams, because my friend likes to explore dream imagery. And he also asked Alan to give him signs when he would go for walks outside. He likes to walk around his neighborhood in the afternoon, and he said, show me signs on the sidewalk while I'm out doing my walk. So this is what Alan did. He gave him several dreams, but in one of them, Alan did not appear in the dream. What he did was he gave my friend a symbol. In the dream, my friend walked into a room where there was a grand piano in the middle of the room. And my friend felt compelled to walk up to this piano and lift up the lid and look underneath. And what he saw lying on the strings were rows of teddy bears, all different sizes and colors. And so this dream was from Alan saying, okay, I'm with you, I'm under the surface, and here's my symbol, teddy bears. Okay, he has a sense of humor. So this is what happened after that. My friend is a big movie buff. He likes to go to the library and pick up a stack of DVDs and watch movies. He always tells me he's probably seen thousands of movies in his lifetime. He just loves to watch movies. He's not particular. He just grabs a stack and then watches them. So after that piano dream with the teddy bears, he goes to the library, gets a bunch of movies, and he couldn't believe what happened. It was probably 4 or 5 movies in a row. They all had teddy bears in them, and it was very striking. It wasn't like, oh, look at the cute little teddy bear sitting in the corner over there. No, the first movie, they literally exploded the teddy bear, and I think it was an action film. My friend does like action films. And so it's like Alan was being funny, saying, hi, you like action films, let me show you this. And at first my friend was really freaked out. He thought, oh gosh, does this mean I'm going to die or something? And he'd had some health problems. So I think that's why he naturally, went there. But I said, no, this is definitely Alan trying to get your attention and letting you know that he is with you. So in the next movie, something very similar happened. It was a woman was accusing her husband of cheating on her. And so she takes a teddy bear, rips the head off of the teddy bear, and there was a camera inside the teddy bear. And she says to her husband, I've been watching you, I know what you're doing. So again, it's like Alan was telling my friend, I'm watching you, I know what you're doing, I'm with you. And it went on. And then there was another movie where it was 2 guys talking, and one of the guys said to the other one, he was talking about actors doing improv on a stage, and they were throwing a teddy bear back and forth across the stage to each other. And of course, Alan was an actor in this life, right? So it was very obvious that Alan was telling my friend, I'm with you, I'm helping you. So anyway, after that, this continued. And so sometimes what my friend would do is if he has a question, a spiritual question, something about past lives, he'll ask me to ask Alan. And so finally, at one point, Alan said to me, you know what, I'm not going to answer these questions. Tell him that he can communicate with me directly. And so I told my friend that, And he said, but I just can't see, or hear Alan. I don't know what to do. And I said, you can do automatic writing. I can feel it. Alan wants to do automatic writing with you. You can do this. And my friend was very skeptical, and he said, I just don't know. I don't feel comfortable doing that right now. And that was kind of the end of the conversation. So then one day my friend is out for one of his walks, and he saw something on the sidewalk, and it kind of freaked him out. He took a picture of it and he sent it to me, and he said, what does this mean? So I'm looking at the picture on my phone. I enlarged it so I could see it, and it was a teddy bear. But this teddy bear looked like it was like almost destroyed. It was dirty, it looked neglected, it had no ears, somebody had ripped the ears off. I mean, it was like the images in the movies that he had seen, right? So again, he freaked out because he thought, does this mean I'm going to die? That's like where he goes, right away. And I said, no. I said, this is a message from Alan, where he's actually asking you to work with him. And I started to convey the message, from Alan. And I said, no. I said, what he's saying is that he feels neglected. He's told you, that you can work with him, that you can channel him, and you're not listening to him. That's why the teddy bear had no ears, because you're not listening to him. So he's like, okay. So he starts to think about it a little bit more. So now just the other day, he went to a Buddhist temple to listen to the monks chanting. They chant for an hour, and then he had lunch with them afterwards. And he enjoyed the experience, and afterwards he said to me, I felt this really strong connection with one of the monks. He said, can you ask Alan if I had a past life with this monk? So I said, okay, I'll ask him. So when I asked Alan, what do you think Alan did? He said to me, I'm not answering that question. Tell your friend that he can ask me that question directly. So I told him, and so this time he finally got the message. He said, okay, I get it. So he sat down with Alan literally for about an hour, and he did some automatic writing. Hadn't done it in ages. So I'm really proud of him for doing that. But he sat down and he asked a question, and then he channeled the answer. And it was amazing. He shared the experience with me, and Alan provided some very eloquent answers. And he was a little snarky too. I mean, he does have a sense of humor. And but anyway, he answered his questions. So finally, my friend got the message after all of these symbols. He finally now is working directly with Alan. But you'll notice, he didn't give him visions. And the two-way conversation that they have, visions of himself, and the conversations that they have, it's not clairaudient. He's working with my friend using his gift, which is the automatic writing. So sometimes, we think it's supposed to look a certain way, like the spirit is supposed to appear in front of us and give us a vision of them, or talk, directly to us in our minds. And it's wonderful when that happens, but don't be frustrated if it doesn't happen that way right away. Let them work with you and help you to open your gifts. So in my friend's case, it's automatic writing. Now, maybe over time, Alan will appear to him and actually give him visions, of himself. So I just wanted to share that with you. I can't guarantee, what the symbols and, visions and things are going to look like. As I say, Alan has a sense of humor. It may not be exploding teddy bears, for you. It could be, something else. So anyway, please try these different techniques that I've shared. I would love to hear from you, afterwards, what your experience has been. Please also feel free, if you have any questions, to comment below or email me at sonya@sonyawhitejaguar.com. I hope that you'll join me for the next video of this series. I actually asked all of my guides if there was anyone else besides Alan who would like to come forward and assist you with this process of opening up to be able to see and hear spirit. And 2 of them said yes. You may not be familiar with them. They're not well known, but in life, they did channeling. One of them channeled many, many books. So I wanted to share these 2 individuals with you because they're very powerful, and who better to ask for help with opening up spiritually than people who actually did that kind of work in life. So I hope that you'll join me for the next video. I hope that this series has been helpful to you so far. Thank you so much for all the feedback that you've been sharing with me. I appreciate it very much. Feel free to subscribe to my newsletter on my website, SONYAWhiteJaguar.com, if you would like to receive further updates about my work. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.